Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our city. It's May 28th of 2019, the day after Memorial Day, and it's a very stormy evening. Ryan told me that he can pull up and show you just how stormy it is. Can you do that, Ryan? It is crazy out there. Hopefully we get through this. We are reminded that there's a fallout shelter downstairs in the city hall, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable about us, but I don't know about you. So make sure you keep an eye on this weather. It's been so crazy lately. In fact, it was so crazy we got rained out of camping in Salisbury, which was open, closed while we were there, and we had to leave, but that's a good thing because now it's completely underwater again. But we had a great weekend placing flowers at the cemetery. We saw lots of people out and about and spent a lot of time with family. I hope all of you had the opportunity to do those things as well. We also had a rare opportunity on Saturday. Senator Cory Booker, he called me. He's one of the only people out east who called me when we were at the worst of the flooding this past time. Just to see how we were. He gave me his personal cell phone number and said, you call me if there's anything that I can do to help, and I really appreciated that. He contacted me again last week and asked if he could come and tour our flooded area and really learn more about it. And so he came on Saturday evening, and Kelsey Brackett and I walked him around. Kelsey is the councilman at large. And he and I walked him around. This is Gary Reed, a very, very wonderful 83-year-old farmer. He's in rural Muscatine. He saw us walking and talking. And of course, there was a barrage of cameras, maybe 15 camera crew. And he walked right on up to us and told Cory a story about some of the struggles that he has had with some of the emergency bailout from the crops that they're having. And so it was wonderful that he had an opportunity to share that. But Cory and Kelsey and I, we visited with Claudio at Salvatore's. We visited with Dr. Bark at Bark Chiropractic. And we went down and toured Gary Dierk's place and just really had a good time making sure that we were able to show him how the flooding really affects our city. We met at DeBeat's Bistro, always the best place to go, and we got to visit with Awad DeBeat as well. So it was a really nice evening, and he will take this information back to Washington now, and when things come up, it's good to have him in our camp and everyone else out in Washington. So we were glad for that opportunity. I would like to segue on over to our first guest. We have a wonderful guest tonight, actually, too, but our first one is Ricky Jara, and Ricky goes to Central Middle School, and I was lucky enough to go to Central Middle School and listen to and watch some presentations that this group of students did, and he was one of them, and I asked him to come here and visit with us tonight and let him share the ideas and the things that his research has shown to all of us tonight. And I am really pleased that you're here, Ricky. Thank you so much for coming.
It's my pleasure.
So this was, about 5-6 weeks ago at Central, or maybe a little bit more?
I would say 5-6 weeks ago.
Something like that. So what class is it that you guys did this presentation for?
We did this presentation for our pre-AP ELA.
What does that stand for?
Pretty much it's more advanced than normal ELA.
Okay. Like pre-advanced placement?
Yeah.
Okay, and then English language arts?
Yes.
Is that what it stands for?
Yes.
Okay. I know when we were kids they called it like language arts class, but now they call it English language arts. Kind of a combo. They put it all together. So this was a great group of students. So I know you guys had to have worked on this for a long time. Who's your teachers for this class, by the way?
Miss Stockdale and Miss Justice.
Okay. How many are there? If I recall correctly, there was about 15 to 20 of you. Is that about right?
Yeah.
So is that just one class that you go to each day?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm so glad that you agreed to come here and talk to us. So tell us your presentation, your paper that you did. What was the theme of it?
My presentation was about the importance of vaccination.
Okay. So it came down on, you know, there's two sides, obviously, you know that with all the research that you've done. So there's two sides to the vaccination issue, whether you should get your children vaccinated, or yourself for that matter, or whether it causes harm to your body and you should just go au natural and not do that. So does your presentation, your paper, did it come down on one side or the other, or was it simply education?
It did mostly go on one side, that being it being pro-vaccination.
The importance of getting
Yeah.
childhood vaccinations as well as adult. Like for example, I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, my doctor told me you need to have a shingles shot because you don't want to get shingles. It's really, really bad and wickedly painful. And you get one now, and then like in 2 months, then you get another one, and then you never have to have it again for the rest of your life. But then you will never get shingles. 99% of the people won't. I mean, there might be that 1% though, right? That something could happen to, but for the most part, you protect yourself from having something like that happen. So it's not just children, right?
Yeah.
So what do, I know it's going to be hard to explain all of the points of your presentation in your paper, but can you give us like the cliff notes on what really are the reasons to get people vaccinated?
Well, the main reasons to get vaccinated is so you don't get the disease
Okay.
that the vaccination is for. For example, in the past we had diseases such as polio that would harm people and kill them, but because of the vaccination, we've limited the people who have polio to very little, and we could eradicate the disease if people got the vaccination.
I'm a member of Rotary, and I know that one of our main causes is to work to eradicate polio, and we're down to just a handful of cases, and what a blessing it will be for the entire world to have that disease behind us. But it can only happen through vaccinations. So some of the people believe that it's not a good thing to get a vaccination, that they're dangerous, or that they cause bigger problems. What are some of the reasons that they give for not wanting to get a vaccination?
Mostly either because of, well, mostly because it could, their main point, it could harm the body. Like it could, instead of improving your way of life, it could harm it and give you something even worse.
I suppose, you know, excuse me, like I was talking about the shingles shot, I suppose in everything, there's always that 1% chance that something bad could happen. But for the most part, I mean, I'm thinking like, you know, if you have to go have an operation for whatever reason, and they put you to sleep, they always tell you there is the 1% chance that somebody, you know, will freak out, their body will freak out from getting put to sleep, and you may not wake up. But, you know, that's the rare thing. So is that kind of what you're saying with the vaccines? It's such a rare thing that we're better off to get them?
Yeah, the vaccination can only do good to your body, and if it does do something bad, it would be like a 1 in a million chance.
Okay. So what was there any of the research that you found that was primarily convincing for us?
Some of the research I put was from the government itself, like their official website on vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
And they would mostly say, and they list some of the ingredients as well, and how they're not harmful, and how they work in your body, like how those ingredients help you with the disease you have.
Sure, sure. So what kind of things can happen to you if you don't get vaccinated?
If you don't get vaccinated, you are more at risk to getting diseases that would be easily preventable if you were vaccinated, such as like the mumps or or like even the common cold, you know,
Okay.
like that vaccination.
So I know there's some talk about, and I've read some pieces of literature about people people that do get vaccinated, they're worried about all those people who aren't getting vaccinated. When somebody isn't getting vaccinated, how does it affect us?
And someone isn't vaccinated, they could get the easily preventable disease and spread it on to someone else, such as their child, or another adult, or some other child, and it could spread the disease more and more when they could easily just get vaccinated to prevent it.
So there are some individuals who maybe, like you said, they're children, so maybe the child isn't old enough to get that particular vaccine, but if the adult doesn't get it, they could give it to people who aren't able to get the vaccine yet. Or maybe there's people with a chronic illness that can't get vaccinated, and the people that could but don't are putting them at risk. Is that part of the reason?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm thinking, as long as I get vaccinated, I'm okay. What should I care if other people don't get vaccinated?
Because because we just want the disease to be eliminated. If it lingers on, then people, next generations could have the disease when it could easily be eradicated in the generation before.
Okay. And I know the pieces that I have read have said that there's always a group in the population that can't, for whatever reason, get vaccinated. And so it's up to everybody else that can to get vaccinated to protect those that are fragile because they can't. And I know that's always a worry, because like some things are age related. Like you can't get this until you're this age, or something like that. So what are the main vaccines that are out there?
I would say ones for like the mumps or flu.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much anymore, but in the past, polio and just a couple other diseases that affected us in the past that are now pretty much gone because of vaccination.
Okay. So tell us on your presentation, what kind of things have you done? How have you been, what kind of projects have stemmed from your presentation that you did? How are you following up?
Well, this interview.
Okay.
And I'm also making flyers to put up to, just to educate people on why vaccinations are important.
Where are you going to put those flyers?
Mostly around town, or put them in like people's mailboxes, just to.
Okay. What like, are they going to be pictures, words? Do you have you already done them? Or are you just working on them now?
I have already finished them. There's like just a list of the diseases that can prevent it, and how this ingredients in vaccines don't harm them, like how they affect the body.
Very good. And then you're going to plaster them all around town as a educational piece for the community.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. I think every little piece of things like that you can see is that much more helpful. So what kind of other projects are people doing that are in your group?
One girl did a presentation on how cleaning the ocean or rivers could really benefit the earth and the people in that community who are like near the rivers. And so she So she's like the main person who's leading on cleaning the rivers on the day of caring at our school.
That's great. I love how you guys are taking like your theme and what is really important, that what you're thinking is really important. And you made this whole, I mean, the presentation that you did was just amazing. How you you did the whole PowerPoint, you did a radio show, you showed all the different ways that you're going to share the information and the research and citing all the sources that you did. And now how you're carrying it a step further, you know, you coming on this show will give an opportunity for people to hear more information about why it's important to follow through with those vaccinations. And I know you said in your presentation that not having the money to get the vaccinations is not a problem that can't be overcome, because they can go to public health and get some kind of assistance with that. And I think too, one of the other points that you made in your paper that I thought was really clever was certainly reminding people how, like the flu vaccines, people think they get the flu that it can cause, if you get a flu shot, you can get the flu. But now the scientists are saying that that's not true. That they don't use the live viruses, and so it's impossible for you to get the flu from getting the flu shot. So I thought you brought up some really great points, and I think it'll be really, really helpful for the people in our city to be able to look around and see the posters and the different things that you're going to share. So is there any final thoughts that you want to share with us, Ricky? Any theme that you want us to carry forward? What do you want us to do as a result of the information that you've been able to research?
I guess is get vaccinated, and if you are worried about what's in them, do some research from reliable sources so you can know what's in them, and then see how they affect the body and how it will ultimately be a better decision than not getting vaccinated at all.
Very good advice. I love your idea on research and asking questions, you know. Ask your doctor, do I need this? Why do I need this? What are the side effects? And, you know, knowledge is power, they say. So making sure that you just, if you have questions, don't just say no, but find out the answers and move forward. And you're saying our answers are going to lead us to getting vaccinations and keeping everybody healthy, and as well as those around us.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ricky, for coming. I really appreciate it. Will you sit tight there while we transition to our next guest? And I hope you come back again sometime. And I will look forward to seeing your posters around town. All right? Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat and just hang tight there for a second. Help for flood victims. Wow, you know, we can move from vaccinations to flood victims. All these storms we're having are just crazy. And now we're back to another crest. And so we have, not only from this event, but this whole spring, we've had just a ton of people that have been affected by this flood. And we are wanting to make sure that everybody knows how to access assistance for the hurt, you know, the harm, the loss that they've all endured as a result of the flood. So United Way of Muscatine is working on, they have, you know, we have been approved for as a disaster area, and they are the contact point to go to. So they have a program that provides grants up to $5,000. You don't have to pay it back, and is per household, and that'll cover home or car repairs, replacing, you know, stuff that you have lost, expenses for temporary household or for temporary housing, and of course, households must have an income at or below the federal poverty guideline. You can go on the United Way website and find all of this information. But please, 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 if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you're not sure if you qualify, you can contact United Way or Community Action of Eastern Iowa, and you can reach them at 263-9290, and they will be able to give you some information on this program and how you can get assistance. Let's see here. Go back up to the top here if you would, Ryan. So I thought there was a list of all the different things that might be on their website that you can actually get help with. But please don't hesitate to ask. You know, there's no harm in asking if your family qualifies. I'm sure that there are things that they look at for income and things that they don't. So even if you're not sure if you qualify, give them a call, talk to them, and see if there's any way that they can help. Next, I wanted to let you know that volunteers are needed for the food rescue program at United Way. They have a really neat program where they go to grocery stores in Muscatine, they go to restaurants, they pick up food that they can't sell anymore at their restaurant or at the grocery stores. They rescue this food, they take it back to MCSA or the Salvation Army or the food pantry, and then they provide it to people in need in our community. What a wonderful win-win. Well, they're looking for volunteers to actually go pick up the food at the grocery store and restaurants and then bring it to these organizations. Several of my friends have been involved in doing this program for a long time, and they go and pick up a whole pickup load of bakery goods and take them to the food pantry, and then those are dispersed to the community through the food pantry. It is a wonderful project. If you can help, please contact Nicole at 263-5963, and thank you for helping. The last thing I wanted to share was the Pack the Bus project. If any of you are aware of that, that project helps our students in Muscatine with school supplies. Community Action of Eastern Iowa, it used to be called TRAIN. They're located in the mall, and they have been doing this program, and they are looking now at revving up and getting all of their donations in so that they can have their time to hand out the donations to everybody in the community. So they're looking for donations, they're looking for cash donations, items, volunteers. They would love to have you host a school supply drive so that they can build up their inventory. So if you can help with that, please contact Community Action of Eastern Iowa in the Muscatine Mall or Nicole at United Way, 263-5963. And I know they, as well as the community and the students, would really appreciate it. We are going to welcome our next guest, Duffy DeFrance. Everybody knows you. I hardly need to do an introduction.
Between the two of us, we know everybody,
oh,
right?
Well, there you go.
I brought you, since you probably couldn't get out into your garden to do flowers or chase away bunnies.
Nice, origami.
So I made you an origami flower
How
and
nice
an origami
is that?
bunny.
Thank you, Duffy. Thank you so much. Well, hey, I invited you here to talk about the summer concert series.
Yes, I am pleased to announce we started about 2003, 2004 with the Watermelon Jam downtown, and then Dave Alice, our longtime Arts Council member, said we would let's just do it during each month in the summer.
Sure.
So, and I've been coordinator probably since 2008, along with Chris Clark. We did it, and now
yes.
I'm still doing it and looking always for someone to help.
Oh, sure, volunteers. They're the key to our community.
So can I tell you about who helps make donations?
Oh, yes, please do, because that's very important.
Oh, it is. And so some of the longtime ones include First National Bank, Wilton Bank, Clove Dental, Creations by Oz. We especially enjoy Oak Tree Homes with their donations. Hills Paint Store, Oyland Spiegel Puppet Theater Company, the Muscatine Literacy Coalition, Iowa Record and Print, CBI, also known as Central State Bank, Strawberry Farm Bed and Breakfast, We Can Frame That, Sessler Piano Studio, and Salvatore's Pearl City, Iowa Realty, and Becky's and Martin and Whitaker help support us with our fundraiser, and Eagles and Ivory. And the Howe Foundation supports us, thank goodness, for the Eagles and Ivory and for all of our events. And then patrons of the Arts Council for the summer series include the Carols, Sharon Bowers of Wilton, the Brown family of Wilton, Sue McKinney, Duffy DeFrance, and then our new people. We appreciate new donations. Bark Chiropractic and Rehab Clinic, Curtis Pest Control, Second Saturday Muscatine, and Black Pearl Cafe, and Chicharro's. So,
very nice.
And yes, and Sessler Piano Studio.
Okay. So, well, what you've got quite a plethora of donors there.
Yes, and that because we pay our concert or our performers, and then we have publicity. But the Arts Council members uses their own telephone, gas, stationery,
huge volunteers
and time.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
And we meet on the second Mondays of each month. Now we meet at the library at 7 o'clock. So if you're interested, my name is on the and phone number's on the poster, so they could contact me.
And they can see the poster. Well, we have it here, of course, but also you can see it on the Muscatine Arts Council Facebook page.
And then we're going to put it on visitmuscatine.com.
Okay.
And we're going to get posters out pretty soon. We're a little bit behind the rain, you know.
Oh my goodness, everything's behind this year.
So kicking it off June 9th is Dave Ellis and his friends. Dave was with Fry Daddies, but Dave Stambro sort of has retired, so he still performs Americana music, including folk and classic rock. July 14th, we have the Front Porch Pickers, including 3 of the members of Just for Fun, Chris Clark. So there's 10 of them, all string instrument except for the harmonica. But that old time music and mountain music. August 11th is Cruisin' with Max Allen Collins and the gang, and they're inductees at the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I saw a video on that. Wasn't that
amazing? Oh, and we're so proud of them.
Oh, certainly.
Cruisin' is sort of like our house band now.
Sure it is.
Yeah, you got to have a house band, right?
Oh, yes.
September 8th, we have the Anson brothers, Bill and Dave, and then their nephew/son is joining them, and they play acoustic blues, a variety, easy listening. So. Then October 13th is Blue Stem Trio from West Liberty/Iowa City, and they're music from the Americana Songbook so the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, you guys go all the way to October.
Yes.
You're challenging the weather, aren't you?
Oh, well, now we're going to be located at the Musser Public Library in their new location at 40 East 2nd Street.
So you're going to be outside, though, right?
Some may be outside and some inside.
But so if the weather's bad, you can move inside.
Yes, yes.
Oh, otherwise you're going to be outside on the lawn.
It depends on the group what they would like to do. We sort of cater to the group, and with the library. So
we're not worried about the flooding affecting
No.
this.
When we were down at the Red Brick Building, and in 2008, we had to move.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
And it seemed like it just went on and on and on and on.
Sure. Oh, sure.
So we do have a Facebook page, the Muscatine Arts Council, and we have I better put my glasses back on, in and out.
Oh, yes.
MuscatineArtsCouncil.org is our website.
Okay.
And eventually, everything will be on the website and the Facebook page. And we'll have posters up all over town.
Oh, sure, we will.
And we also take them sometimes to Iowa City, the Quad Cities, Illinois. So last year, we had a couple from the state of New York City, and they were ballroom dancers, so they danced through the concert.
How fun.
And then the previous year, we had some dancers from the Quad Cities that came and danced at several of our concerts.
How nice.
So dancing is permitted.
There you go.
And kids, it's free family entertainment. Kids are welcome. This is like our music literacy.
Oh, sure.
And we want the music from the 1900s. Well, some of the music is from the top 1840s.
Right.
So we want the music to be carried on to the next generation.
Oh, sure,
So bring your grandkids down. And
so it's no cost.
No cost.
No cost. Starts at 7 p.m.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Starts
until
at 6 o'clock.
till 8 o'clock on Sundays, the second
Okay.
Sunday.
Second Sunday of June, July, August,
August,
September,
October. We
Wow.
added October.
Yes.
And so we, again, appreciate all of our sponsors
Oh,
and our
certainly.
patrons. Yeah.
You couldn't do it without.
Yes, if
Without-
everybody donates a little
Yes.
bit, then we can.
Yes.
And the people that are performing for us don't charge a lot.
Oh, sure.
But they just love to perform, and they're
course.
good. And the neat thing about it is, like Dave Ellis and his friends, he may have a new friend that comes with someone maybe never played with him before, but if he says play in the key of G, they know what to do because
Wow.
they're experienced. And
Sure.
and we hope that maybe they'll take in new kids or teens and teach them the music
Of
eventually.
course. We don't want to lose it.
No, we don't. So
Do people bring their own lawn chairs? Are chairs furnished? How does that
we
work?
have right with the library, as far as I know, the chairs are furnished.
Okay.
But maybe throw one in the car just in case.
Because I know when it was down on the riverfront, we would take
yeah.
a chair to sit in.
And then we had it at the Pearl Plaza patio, and we
Uh-huh.
want to thank Ann and Tom Meeker for letting us
Oh,
use
sure.
the Pearl Plaza.
Sure, huge helpers.
Right. Oh, yeah,
You know,
very
just-
community minded.
Yes, just like everything that we talk about on this show, volunteers and fundraising, and our community comes out to do both.
And we believe, like, if the symphony gives us brochures, we'll share them, and
Oh, of
we
course.
try to work together,
Yes.
and together we are better,
Sure.
and we help each other out.
Yes, we do. Now, how does Eagles and Ivories fit into this? It's not part of the second Sunday
No,
concert
it's
series.
another-
It's a separate event.
Separate event.
Because we talked about that a lot last year and had a wonderful event last year.
And it was our 25th, and so Dave Alice, our music coordinator, is already, and he uses Jeff Barnhart as his artistic director.
Sure.
And they've already got, as soon as the event is over,
They're
that-
working on the next one.
Yes,
You
the-
bet.
yeah.
Sure.
And people don't realize it's year-round.
Uh-huh.
And even with this, is like I saw Blue Stem Trio perform, and I
Sure.
go, "Would you mind performing?" And the Front Porch Pickers. She happened to come to Eagles and Ivory, and I go, "Mary, what kind of group are you with now?"
Uh-huh.
And she goes, "With the Front Porch Pickers. We play at weddings and funerals and libraries." And I go,
So come on down to
Yeah.
our second Sunday concert
"Yeah,
series.
oh, we'd love to," she says.
Sure. Oh,
yeah.
that's great.
And so this is like you hear a band or somebody else say, "I've heard this group. Why didn't you talk to them?" And we do. And if they think they might like to come to Muscatine, we're ready to have
We'll
them.
host them.
Yes.
You bet.
So our other event is the Wandering Words Poetry.
Yes.
And our judge has just made her selection. So may I
Oh,
share
she
that?
has. You
Yes.
may.
So we're sort of sneaking this in
Okay.
before they get in the sidewalk.
Well, hey, Ryan, can you pull up that picture from Cory Booker? When Cory Booker was here, and
Oh,
we were
yes.
walking around downtown, and he was visiting with the business owners down there. He walked by one of the sidewalk poems, and he said, "Well, what is this?" And I said, "Well, this is our sidewalk poetry that we do here in Muscatine." And he had to stay and read it. And he said, "Can anybody send in one of them poems? Could I send in a poem?" I said, "I don't know. Maybe you need to be from Muscatine." And he said, "Well, maybe down the road I could send one in." I said, "Well,
Oh, yes,
you
we
could
would.
try."
He could try.
So you know the winners?
Yes, I do, and don't tell anybody who they are.
Okay.
Okay,
I
top
won't.
secret. A top
I
secret.
won't. All right.
So, our judge was Misty Urban, and
oh, yes, I've
and she-
listened to her readings before.
Oh, she's very good.
Great, yes.
And it was a blind judge,
Uh-huh.
so we took the names off.
yes, of
And
course.
so she had no idea who they belonged to. And this one is by Annette Machuca Hovland, who's a teacher at the Muscatine High School.
Oh, okay.
And this is red willow smoke from the sacred pipe rises to the four winds. O great spirit, breathe life, art, song, dance into the clay of Mother Earth. Hear our prayer of peace. Doesn't that
Very
pack
nice.
a punch? Oh.
Yes, it does. Very nice.
This one is by Aaron Montgomery. Walk like thoughts wander in old poems. read by wax under frosty mint quilts. Walk like dreamers breathe in the quiet night.
Very nice.
And this one is by Carol Ward, retired teacher.
Yes.
Pelicans etch the flight on sky's blue billboard, wheeling in great circles up in a kite-like ballet. Onlookers pause, eyes upward in awe, grateful for nature's choreography.
Very nice. How fun.
And Rachel Roth, or Ruth, R-O-E-T-H.
R-O-E-T-H.
So
Probably Roth,
I
maybe?
think this one's is green turns to gold. She is cool, slow, halts, frozen, resting, awaken, wide and strong, breaking boundaries, now flowing, sparkling, laughing, alive. And then this is the last one, but I have some honorable mentions. And this one's by me.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We kids owned summer, barefoot, sunburnt, wild. Old truck, a pirate ship for flags, planks, swords. Tumbling over rocks, avoid cows while creek wading. Pan for gold, minnows, go fishing for memories.
Oh, I love that. Boy, we made fun out of anything, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We were able to go outside and wander around, and Mom and Dad, they sort of knew we were on the farm someplace, but never quite where.
Yep. We ran around.
And at
we
dark,
weren't doing anything wrong.
No, never.
At a certain time of dark, you knew you better get home.
That's right.
Yes.
And then
honorable mentions.
We have some honorable mentions. And they'll get a certificate. And during one of the concerts, we'll read these.
Okay.
So this one's by, gets the special Muscatine Literacy Coalition Award, which is my group. And this is by Mira Gessner from West Liberty, Iowa. I am here for you always, as sidewalk should be. If we're lucky, I'll be near a couple of trees. These words are here so we could meet, a concrete treat beneath your feet.
How nice. I love that.
Yeah, it rhymes.
Yeah,
and I thought
yes.
that should get a special award.
Oh, sure.
This one is by Mike Ruby. Muscatine standing tall on the shoulders of yesterday's visionary great giants. Today, abounding with benevolence and goodwill, anticipating an inspiring tomorrow.
You know, I love that. And we've talked about that many times here, how that we had such a group of forward-thinking people that came before us. And
many.
They have formed who we are today. You know.
This is like a, what do you call it, a goal or a vision statement.
Yes. Very good. Very nice.
And this one is by Lori Hubbard. Water kisses the sky, melds the blue, one hue, rolling waves swirling, winds calm the waters, look of glass, tranquil, evening fades the night, dawn begins the new day. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
Then John Glasson wrote, we've felt, we feel, though we are different, there's an empathy in that space between us. We together will never be alone again. And then Kathleen Hollingsworth wrote, gentle giant churning, carrying the load with no murmur of complaint. Too soon gone from sight, gentle waves come ashore, behind soft calmness reaching the heart.
Oh, we lost your microphone. I've lost mine too.
Before.
No problem.
And that's the honorable mentions.
That's very nice. I just love our sidewalk poetry program. I just love it.
I know one of the poems will be in front of the old post office.
Yes.
And one will be in front of MCSA. And then there's some other locations downtown.
Sure. And don't you just love the sidewalk art pieces that the public art pieces we're getting out, and I love the the vintage lights and stuff that we have going.
It's getting better and better
Isn't
downtown.
it?
Yeah.
You know, and we've got Mississippi Drive done, and now we're going to be starting 2nd Street, and we're just getting bigger and better.
And there's a sculpture park, have you seen, in downtown Des Moines?
No.
By the library, there was this couple, who had all this artwork that they had, and as they got older, they decided to share it with the city of Des Moines.
How nice.
And so it's very popular, and it's a place to go to when you're visiting downtown Des
Sure.
Moines. So,
And if you haven't seen the new exhibit at the Art Center, it's great.
I'll have to go there,
Yes.
yes. And that's
Very, very
another
nice.
place that people should go at least
Oh.
once a month to
Oh,
see
yes.
the new changes.
Yes, because
and
it
everything.
changes all the time. And I think it's wonderful, too, that if you ever want a back room tour,
Oh, they'll
Melanie's always
Oh, that's good to
available
know.
do that. And it's amazing if you see the process and all the pieces that aren't all out because we have so many.
And people
So-
should remember to go to Wildcat Den State Park.
Oh,
The mill is
yes.
open.
Yes. They
And-
work so hard out
Oh.
there, too, keeping that right up for us.
Again, with volunteers.
Yes, all volunteers.
And I know some, I think retired engineers are involved.
Oh,
and
yes.
it keeps them
Yes.
out of trouble.
Yep,
So.
yep, that's right.
And we're lucky to have the National Button Museum.
Oh.
We have a lot to offer in our community
Oh.
with parks and even the whole county. We have the Wilton Candy Kitchen still going.
Yep.
And the Eulenspiegel Puppet Theater Company next March will celebrate their 45th year.
I can't believe that. 45?
And this is America, maybe the world's one of the longest running continuous puppet group owned by the same company, owned by the same woman.
That's great.
And here it is in West Liberty,
Sure.
Iowa.
And they go out and do their performances all over. They're wonderful.
And including like Germany, Japan.
Yeah.
And they're, sometimes they go to Kansas, Wyoming, Washington State.
It's
So,
great.
yeah.
And they are right here.
Right here.
Right here in Muscatine
They're
County.
available.
That's right. Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So you've got a busy summer ahead.
Right, yes. With the summer concert series.
Oh, yes.
And then I do some origami workshops. If you
Oh,
call,
sure,
I
sure.
can do.
College for kids too, don't you?
I am retired from that, but
Are
I'm
you
hoping
now?
College
Oh.
for Kids continues. So sign your child up for
But
college.
you did do college for
Oh,
kids.
yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
Yes.
The last time I did College for Kids with origami, one little boy raised his hand the first day, and he goes, "Miss Duffy, are we just going to fold and unfold paper for 2 weeks?" And I go, "Yes, that's what we're going to do."
That's what we're going to do.
And he goes, "Oh, I thought this was going to be a cooking class."
You don't know where you got origami into cooking, but
Oregano,
somehow.
maybe. I
Who
don't
knows?
know.
Oh,
But
well.
with that, we thought that was so
Well,
funny.
hopefully he came to love it.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Good.
Yeah. So
Good.
the paper cranes was a little hard, but we made
Sure.
bunny rabbits and flowers,
go.
and there we go. So thank you so much for
you're
having me
welcome.
on
so
your
June
show.
9th is our first
There's
one,
yes,
and it's going to be
Dave Ellis
Dave Ellis and his friends.
and his friends, and so
That's
I'm not
right.
sure who. It's going to be a surprise.
Okay.
So.
And then also June 8th is the next second Saturday.
Second
We
Saturday.
got second Saturday and then summer concert series the next day. That looks to be a nice weekend.
And July 14th is the Front Porch Pickers.
Front Porch Pickers.
And so maybe you'll be inspired afterwards to get out your guitar.
There you go.
And August 11th is Cruisin' and our house band.
And they're all going to be at the library,
Mm-hmm.
6 o'clock, second Sunday of every month
Right.
through October.
And it's free again, and we love it if you bring your children and grandchildren down, and because we
Rain
want
or shine.
and we want to spread the love of music and
Sure.
live music in Muscatine, and we want to again think of all the people and companies and business and organizations that donated to the Arts Council,
Absolutely.
and that's how we keep going.
Absolutely.
And so our special projects is Eagles and Ivory, second concert series, the Wandering Word Sidewalk, and then we're going to do some special art projects with the Muscatine Art Center. So stay tuned for
Will
that.
do. You'll have to come back and share those. 'Cause
Probably
we love
Melanie,
hearing
yeah.
it. Or Melanie
yeah.
can come. Yes. We love that.
So we're trying to spread the arts and keep the arts going. And
Thank you for doing that.
Yes,
It's
and-
amazing for our city to
and we
have
have some
that.
great art teachers in town also. And
yes.
So, we hope the kids will then be inspired to take art classes at the Art Center.
betcha.
College for Kids.
It's important.
Right,
It's
yes.
important.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, go ahead and have us stay seated. How
Okay.
about that? We're just going to close out for the evening. I want to let everybody know next Tuesday our guests are Shannon Abel, and she's with Senior Resources, and every year they do a cookout right out here at City Hall on our lawn, and she's going to talk to us all about that. And then Frank Iliff, he does wonderful things with Rebuilding Together. Just amazing stories of how our city comes together and helps one another and volunteers and gives of their time and their talent. And huge thanks to everyone involved that does this and looks out for their neighbor every day. We hope to see you again here next week on Our City. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe in this weather and do your best to stay dry. Thank you.
Our City with Mayor Diana Broderson replays on MPW Channel 9, Wednesday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. and Thursday at 7 a.m. Of course, we're live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook. Email us at ourcity@muscatineiowa.gov.